Hey dumplings, it's David Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about an experience that Jungkook and Lisa both had in the studio and going to the studio. I wanted to get into what happened and what the story is because this one is very interesting. I also want to get into Jin and his new music video and why he admitted to being in a bit of trouble releasing it. So grab your dumpling, tea-smelling mug merch, and let's jump in. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified and some new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be first, leave your hate comment. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into is some backstory on what happened with Jungkook. Just bear with me, and I wanted to get into this very interesting moment. If you know me, I'm into paranormal stuff, not because I want to be possessed, but I do think ghosts are real. I have stories of my own I could share and stuff I've seen. So I'm quick to believe anyone talking about this stuff. Jungkook has talked about moments where he has felt haunted and scared. It's rumored that ghosts really like music and probably this idea that maybe they can interact with and enjoy. So of course it makes sense that there's a lot of ghost encounters in music studios and even dance studios. Jungkook a little while ago was recording his bits for one of his songs and he went through his lines and then later went to hear it back. The only issue is it seemed like maybe the producer didn't hit record because there was no sound coming out or anything. But he did record and there was no sound. There seemed to be no problems with the microphone or equipment, so Jungkook went back into the studio and re-recorded his part again. He then heard himself sing and then it was cut off and it was just music but no vocals. And it was the start of some of the creepier things that have happened with the boys. They all experienced some sort of paranormal stuff and are very scared and spooked over this sort of thing. There's even this ongoing joke within ARMY that during a live stream, like when BTS does their V-Lives, for the people in the chat to be like, "Oh my god, who is that behind you?" And then when the boys read that, they freak out. While it's a joke and the boys don't seem too mad about it, I can see why they would be spooked. One, due to the fact that they are believers of ghosts and stuff, and also two, the fact that they have stalker fans and they usually stream late at night. So they are more on edge as they think maybe someone snuck into their hotel. And Jungkook and the boys all have these ghost stories to tell. It was also interesting within this same theory, Blackpink did an interview not too long ago with Jojo from Kiss FM where he talked about any Blackpink paranormal stuff. If you're unaware, Jojo has a paranormal podcast where he discussed paranormal stuff. And so maybe he was hoping to add a Blackpink ghost segment to that podcast. But interestingly enough, Blackpink had something to add. Lisa talked about a time where she heard her wardrobe banging and someone laughing in her ear and that she couldn't open her eyes or move. People talked about this being really creepy and like a ghost was maybe touching her or whatever, but to me that sounds more like sleep paralysis. So I don't think that was a ghost moment. However, Lisa had mentioned that she has experienced other ghost moments within her dorm, probably near her label or studio. She didn't clarify what those were, but she also wanted to shine a light on Jisoo's story. Jisoo talked about how she was in one of the rooms they had that they turned into a wardrobe or big closet where they just store their clothes. Kind of cool to have like a spare room that you can just use as a walk-in closet. That's the dream. But apparently Jisoo was trying on her clothes and then just was doing her choreography and practicing a little bit, and probably before they had to go to the dance studio or film the video. And she said that she noticed on the pile of clothes on the floor that there was a white hand, and she ran out and slammed the door. When Jisoo and all of them went to visit a psychic, it became more obvious that they were haunted because without saying anything to the psychic mentioned a ghost in their wardrobe room. I know it's like a cliche that every celebrity has ghost stories, and not just like one or two, it seems to happen unbelievably often to them. It almost feels like they're making it up to be interesting, but it makes sense because of this idea that if you were a ghost with literally unlimited time, would you hang out with us normal people or would you go and hang out with pop stars? I'm choosing to haunt those people. See what Jungkook or Lisa's up to. I believe them. Also, if they're drawn to music, you'd hang out with music people because musicians and singers sing all the time. Of course, hearing this, fans are scared because they don't want anything to happen to the idols. And it even became a thing where armies were encouraging other armies during live streams to not play the ghost prank on BTS, the one I mentioned earlier. It was cute at first, but it got old and it can be quite literally give them a heart attack. Hotels are the creepiest places too. I imagine if they were doing their live streams at their home, it's less scary, but since they do it in hotels, like who knows? Who died in what room, right? Also, there was a time when J-Hope was in the dance studio late at night at HYBE. I don't recall anyone playing this prank on J-Hope during that stream, but he was clearly spooked out already, just being late in the office and having all the lights off. And if someone did play that prank on him, I'm sure he'd jump. It's so fun to hear these stories, and I'm glad to hear both Lisa and Jungkook's similar story of their experiences in studios and in rooms. And I don't think they necessarily have a reason to lie about it, so I definitely believe them. Maybe one day BTS can do a ghost series series where they just share ghost stories over a campfire. Such a simple idea that I don't think anyone has done, and it can definitely do very well. But hey, BTS is busy as is, and they don't need to do more things. Jin has been very busy lately. Not only did he have to take some time to do rehearsals for their concert, which I'm sure didn't take too much time, but they definitely still had to do it. Jin also had his birthday, which was December 4th. Happy late birthday. And Jin actually surprised us with a little gift, which is so funny. He should definitely be accepting gifts, not giving us these cute things. But if you have not seen it, Jin released a dance video called SuperTuna, which I will have a reaction to that on my Patreon tomorrow. So if you're interested in watching that with me, link down below. But it's a super cute dance video that Jin just put out, and he had to literally write those lyrics, record the song, and then make up choreography for this 1-minute song. So I doubt he put it together in one day. I think it was already made maybe a week before his birthday, but it was filmed in LA and it was filmed on the beach. He did it as he had a moment before performing at SoFi. I believe this was during Jin's live stream that Jin did very recently. He talked about the song and his experience making it. Obviously, Jin had to come up with some cute choreography, and it seemed like he got some pushback from HYBE or Big Hit. So apparently, he spoke with BTS's choreographer and they came up with something, and Jin was feeling a little insecure about the song and video. And now this translated from Korean to English, so there could be some translation errors. But the choreographer talked about how strange the song and video was, and BTS being at the level they are, they shouldn't be releasing this stuff. But Jin decided he wanted to anyway as a gift to ARMY, and it just being silly and cute. This is definitely not a dumb thing for Jin to do. People seeing more of Jin's cute and charming personality is going to help Jin in the long run. Not necessarily helping with pushing his music, although it does, but it gives more prospect to be an actor and more roles casting directors can see him in. Like obviously not just serious roles, but being able to do comedic ones as well. And another thing I wanted to add is that BTS doesn't see themselves as too big or whatever to even do things like this. They see themselves as just people, and that they have silly moments and serious moments. Obviously, it's very fitting for a birthday to release something that is so Jin. He is goofy, he also loves fish, and followed up his birthday post with the fish he caught in the ocean and showed them off on Weverse. So the song fits him well, and I hope BTS never loses that charm. One of the reasons we love them is that they're not scared to be weird and to be themselves, and I think when a company corporatizes, if you will, like they become more money focused, which is not a bad thing. Everyone thinks this is so horrible. It's not. A company needs to make money. That's the point of the company. And BTS would still be doing music and all that if they didn't make any money, but they would release like one song every 10 years because they would need to find another job. So this is not a bad thing. It allows them to make music more often by making money. But when a company does corporatize, i.e. become public like stock-wise, they can start to take themselves more seriously because they have investors and they want to seem serious and look good to the investors. Investors may not be as interested to see BTS releasing songs like Baby Shark or something like that, right? But putting a one-off song that is quite better than Baby Shark, honestly, is not going to tank the stock and it's not going to do anything bad. But maybe Jin was feeling a bit self-conscious of this and embarrassed. He asked ARMYs to not learn the dance and not do a SuperTuna dance challenge, as he does not want that. But again, this is something that is translated from Korean words on Weverse. The dance is definitely a fun one, but I couldn't learn it anyway. It's way too high level for me. I can barely walk down steps without looking weird. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you'd like to see over there. Currently, we do have over 400 videos that are already up on Patreon that you have access to the moment you sign up. So if you're interested in being a part of that, as well as checking out those videos and being a part of the community, then make sure you go over there and check it out. Link is in the top description down below. There's also a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more. If you would like to do that and how you can do that, that video is on the front page. With that, there's 2 videos that will appear up on screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.